Good day, farmers. My name is Francis Mapindani, and I'm an agronomist with Seedco Vegetables covering Mashonaland East. Today, we'll be talking about the peas, about all the varieties that we have at Seedco and the categories they come in. All in all, we have three categories that we have, which is the shelling pea, and then comes the munch 2, and lastly, we have the sugar snap. The shelling pea is the one which is much more popular here locally in Zimbabwe because the shelling peas are the ones which are much more consumed locally. The munch 2 and the sugar snaps are not quite that popular. They're mostly just for the markets that are more upmarket, the niche markets, which include the supermarkets and the restaurants and the hotels. But for most of the general consumers, the munch 2 and the sugar snap are not that much consumed. So the shelling peas are the ones which we recommend for those farmers who are growing locally. For that category, we have Reina, which is a very prolific variety that gives you around 9 to 10 peas per every pod and comes in a semi-determinate nature where your plant is going to be ranging from around 1 to around 1.5 meters in terms of length, in terms of height. Then for the peas, you are getting the 9 to 10 peas per pod, just like I had mentioned before. Days to maturity, we are looking at around 75 days from the day of emergence. And for planting times, we are working from beginning of February up until end of June so that your crop doesn't penetrate too much into the summer season, because these varieties don't tolerate the high temperatures quite as much. You start to have problems like abortion, which is a bigger problem for us. So you need to make sure that you grow your crop during the right window. Then secondly, we now have the second category, which is the sugar snap. Sugar snap is the category which comes through for the peas that we're supposed to be selling without the seed starting to form inside the pod. The sugar snaps come through in a bit of a different space because these are much more sweeter and they have a different market as well. Locally, they are not quite as big in terms of demand, but overseas, they are quite so perfect. Most of the crop that is grown is usually targeted for the export market, which includes the EU and also the Middle East as well. With the varieties that we have Sugar Lord and Sugar Lady. Sugar Lady being the determinate variety that is going to have an average height of around 75 centimeters and then a yield that is ranging to around 7 to 8 tons per hectare of exportable yield. Sugar Lord, on the other hand, is much more higher yielding. We're looking at a range that can hover between around 13 to around 15 tons in terms of exportable yield that you can get per each and every hectare. So it's something that our farmers have to deeply consider when they are getting into their crop. Do they want something that's going to mature faster, which is the determinate variety Sugar Lady, or do they want something that can give them a higher yield over a prolonged period like Sugar Lord? It's something that our farmers have to decide. Then for the last category, we have the munch 2. Munch 2, we have two varieties, Snow Green and Snow Wind. Snow Green being the one which is more leafy. It has more leaves. The yield is going to be ranging to around 7 to 8 tons per hectare of exportable yield. But the leafy nature of it helps quite a lot in terms of covering the peas from direct sun contact and also as well from any bird activity. Anything that can come through and reduce the visibility of our peas is something that we greatly appreciate. Then for the second variety, we have the semi-leafy variety, which is our Snow Wind. Snow Wind is coming through as a variety that has more tendrils, so it's going to attach itself to the net quite better. But in terms of yield, it's quite closer ranging to Snow Green, which is around the 7 to 8 ton per range. So it's up to our farmers to decide if they want something that is easier to attach to the net or something which is a bit more leafy and cover its fruits nicely. So basically, these are all the varieties that we have at Seedco for our peas, and our farmers can decide from our wide range of options. And remember, it starts with the right seed.